As my time here in Alex comes to a close, I'm so lucky that I have so many fantastic memories to reflect on. Between hockey finals to Colwick wins, I've had so many brilliant experiences over the past 6 years. However, admittedly, there have been a few moments I've gone through that honestly I would prefer to forget. Back in first year, we were encouraged to try out all activities and really get involved in school life. Upon receiving this advice, most of our year decided to partake in the Drama Society. We were putting on the play Alice in Wonderland. I was ecstatic when I found out I booked the star role of the White Rabbit. Every night, I would go over my lines repeatedly in preparation for the big show. I was very certain a big Hollywood producer would be in the audience and that they would be amazed by my incredible acting talents. I was convinced my stellar performance as the White Rabbit would be a springboard for me into stardom. The first issue arose when we were trying to decide what would be the hole the White Rabbit would come out of and go back into. Obviously, there was no hole on stage, so we had to improvise. We decided to use the next best thing, a box that I would kneel down in and cover myself with a blanket. The box had to be small and light so they could easily carry me off stage. So, as I knelt down in the very, very small box, completely squished inside, I felt very claustrophobic. During the first scene of the play, I had to be on stage in my box. This scene lasted the guts of 15 minutes. When the time finally arrived for me to step out of the box, I suddenly felt exceedingly unwell with stage fright. I tried to come out of the box gracefully, but was so nervous I stumbled out of it and half fell over. Not quite the dramatic entrance I was hoping for. I was dizzy, queasy, and shaking with nerves. I fumbled through the entire scene, forgetting most of my lines, and definitely not portraying the White Rabbit I'd practiced so hard to become. Finally, I managed to get to the end of the scene. I was faced with the next challenge, getting back into the box. The blanket got all tangled up and I spent a solid minute on stage struggling to get it to cover me, as the audience watched on and all fought down the urge to laugh. My mother, however, could not contain herself and burst out laughing as she watched me struggle helplessly to try and cover my big bunny ears with the blanket. Now, while you might think this must have been the worst part of my performance, I can assure you it wasn't. The plan was that I would be discreetly pulled off stage at the end of the scene. However, there was a miscommunication with the backstage crew and I was accidentally left on stage in the tiny box for around 20 extra minutes. I thought about coughing to get their attention, but I didn't want to make any noise and disrupt the performance. I was paranoid that you could see me under the blanket and kept fidgeting to rearrange it. In hindsight, this probably wasn't the best idea, as I fidgeted so much the blanket nearly fell off several times. I contemplated getting up and running off stage, but I decided against it because I figured it'd be slightly bizarre if the White Rabbit magically reappeared for no reason during the middle of the play and wordlessly ran off stage. When I was finally dragged off by Simley, I jumped out of the box, beyond relief. At the time, I felt slightly embarrassed, but now, as I think back to the day, I can only laugh. Although my portrayal as White Rabbit has not propelled me into the stardom as I thought it would, it certainly taught me a few lessons. Even though my performance did not quite go as planned due to my stage fright, the whole experience was so enjoyable. The drama department did a fantastic job and we put on a great play, despite my few hiccups. I got to know loads of people there and got public speaking experience. I really encourage everyone, especially the younger years, to really get involved in as many activities as possible. All those activities might not necessarily suit you, as I learned the hard way, but it was a fun experience nonetheless. If anyone gets bored or has nothing to do for the next while, you can still check out our entire play on YouTube. Thank you.